Alright, YouTube, what is up? It's Nisi. I'm about to go over this game. This was this is LoL replay review. I did a Trinity Yi game, and now I want to go over a game that, started off really crappy, and then we wound up carrying anyways. And this, in my opinion, is a game that normally you would lose. Like, normally you're gonna lose these types of games, but if you're solid and you've got your late game strategy down and you make good decisions, you can still pull out a win anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and show you this the way this game plays out and talk out my ideas. So I told you already in the Trinity Yi video how to farm, how to skip the camps and farm as fast as possible, playing like Master Yi, going for Devo. All that shit still applies in this game, but in this particular match, bot lane gets off to a rough start, and we're facing an Udyr, which is arguably one of the strongest junglers in the game. You're gonna see bot lane goes really badly, like really badly. Top lane goes really, really badly. The only redeeming thing that we have going for us is our mid laner is pretty decent when it comes to dealing damage. So I'm going to slow this down. We get into a weird skirmish over here. Was unable to make a trade. No kills, nothing of value yet. Dealing some damage to the turret. Again, bot lane falls. You can see how this is getting off to, like I said, a really rough start. Kog'Maw is pretty huge. And you're going to see that their enemy's Kog'Maw gets pretty big. On a killing spree. We wind up shutting him down. Nice little double kill. So even though our bot lane's off to a bad start, we pick up a couple kills. But that's not really what I want to focus on. We're talking about the late game strategies. And you can see right there, again, we give a shutdown. So this game is not looking too great. It's not looking too hot. And a lot of people watch these videos and go, well, how do you get to the conclusion that this game isn't going well? The main thing is, if a bot lane gets out of control early, that's pretty much GG in most cases, if there's no way to really shut down the bot lane. In this case, it's a Kog'Maw, so we're Tryndamere, and we have a Kog'Maw, and the only thing we have to worry about is that Morgana bind, pretty much, and then Kog'Maw is free to go in on. But this game, you see me stacking up my Devo. We're going for Dragon when the enemy team is backing. We're starting off the climb. This is like the Mount Everest of games, okay? This is one of those games where you gotta grind it up. As you can see, top lane Pantheon, I was talking about this earlier today, Pantheon should never lose to Yasuo in a lane, especially when Pantheon's running Ignite. But, as you can see, Pantheon is losing in lane. And not only is he losing in lane in terms of getting killed in lane, but he's not farming well. So that means that the top lane advantage that we're supposed to get from Pantheon is pretty much null and void. So now we have the fed bot lane, and now we have this guy. We have a Yasuo who's going to be splitting all game. We have an Udyr who's going to be annoying as fuck. We have a fed Kog'Maw and a really good support. Versus basically, in my opinion, it's Tryndamere and Brand trying to float the boat in this game. That's what's going to wind up happening. So, keeping farming. Try to show up the counter gank, but as you can see, Udyr's really annoying, and he's going to spam BM us, of course, because Trick2G does it, and that's something you have to deal with. He's going into mid, getting a little skirmish here. I want to point out, this is just Udyr being cocky, man. If you're playing Udyr, you have this lead, there's no point in giving me a chance to pick up a free kill. And I do get the kill because of it. And I'm able to slow down Udyr's aggression. Drop the BM, whatever. Keep farming towards that Devo. It's a little slow going, but it's to be expected. When you're farming Devo, the other jungler might get the game ahead elsewhere. Which is kind of what happened in bot lane. Udyr did help a little bit in bot lane, so. So as you can see, good poke coming out. Pantheon man dropping, but we're not really getting it in. We're kind of getting beat up. This guy's on a killing spree. We're coming out of base. Now, let's talk about this situation here. Kog'Maw's on a rampage. We're Tryndamere. We still have our flash. We need to come up with a way to try to shut people down. Coming out of base. This turret here. Looking to defend it. Obviously, they disengage. And nothing. We don't get anything done. But we're looking. We still have our flash up. Here. Yasuo. Looking for an opportunity. Looking around the map for the picks. Yasuo flashed away. Good. So we're pressuring, though. We're going to see if we can catch him with W. No. So all you're trying to do when you're trying to come back is you're looking for people to overstay and overcommit, and you're trying your best when you're the Fed carry. You're trying to pick your spots. I know this was a long build-up to get to this point, but we're trying to pick our spots. We have, if you look at the farm and the levels, we have the highest level in the room, and we're farmed pretty big. We have some kills, 5-2. This is where the video kind of gets to the points that I want to get to, where coming back from late game and mid game and trying to pick and choose spots that make sense in order to take a lead and hopefully carry an 2-12 team. Look at that again, to be clear. That is a 2-12 team in the early game with your Pantheon being 0-2, for Christ's sake. Really fucking bad. Really, really bad start. Alright? So, again, looking for spots. I'm going to train on Tryndamere. You can see that Morgana gets shut down, which is really good. But we got to farm to our Diva. We got 25 stacks. I'm going to try to steal this dragon. Here's one play. Giving up the tier 2 to try to sneak dragon to get the Devo. Alright? Yeah, it's 2-14 because I can't math. Giving up the tier 2 because there's nothing you can do right now. Look at the situation. You're down here. Janna's up here. Pantheon's up here. He's going to be coming back with ult. Yes, maybe. But there's nothing you're going to be able to do. Udyr's super annoying. They've got the fucking Z-Rot portal, that OP shit pushing down mid. Try to sneak the dragon here. It makes sense. And all you have to do, if you see them coming, you know that they know the dragon's up. If you see them coming, you can spin over the wall. You can get space. You can do whatever you need to do to get away from it. So I take the dragon, go over the wall. I'm backing on a ward. I didn't know that at the time, and they didn't stop me from backing. I guess they couldn't stop me in time. And we get back, and we're on defense. Here, Graves. This is where I say people throw. Why is Graves there? We have no idea why he's behind the double turrets there. It makes no fucking sense. There's nothing for him to be doing there. He's alone. That's a blatant throw. Okay? This is why, like I say, just play back, wait it out, farm it up, wait for people to make mistakes. Remember, the longer the game goes on, the more opportunities that there are for people to make mistakes, get in situations that they're not sure of. Here, same concept. Graves is dead. These guys invading into the jungle. It's 4v4. Tryndamere's pretty big. Looking for a fight on our terms with vision. With, you know, this is a good spot for us. It's okay. This is a good spot to go in. Notice how the focus goes down. Not going to really chase an Udyr too hard, but if he gets too CC'd or too locked into place, then yeah, I'm going to secure the kill on Udyr. Not burning my flash or anything to do it, but it's the right, you know, it's the right play to make. And now look here, you can be stupid and try to go in, or you take the pick and disengage, right? So take the pick and disengage. We got the pick. We're walking away. Breathing room. Every time someone goes down, that gives you room to breathe, room to farm up. If lanes are pushing to you, that's a lot of CS that people are missing just due to the turrets, due to lanes, you know, getting frozen, what have you. This is why when you make those picks in the late game and you're behind, space back out. Don't just go in trying to go nuts. Notice how I immediately, as soon as I get that pick, back away and start farming him. Okay? Very, very important. Gonna clear the jungle. This play, see these players? See the difference? I'm not looking at this anymore. This is over. Okay? This is over. There's nothing of value here. Janna walks up trying to ward. What are you trying to ward for? The supports say this shit all the time. Oh, I got a ward. Dragon's gone. Dragon's not up. It's not even on the timer on the replay review. So why is she going to ward there? It doesn't make any sense. There's nothing to ward. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to do other than play at your turrets and just wait. Farm up. You have 20 seconds to farm up, breathe, get space, wait until you've pushed out lanes a little bit, you've got people showing up on the minimap, shit like that. But I hate that shit. I got a ward. You think before you ward. There's not, there's not necessarily a time to ward. You see here, this is a little meta play here. Spinning into the turret to knock down the Z-Rot to get some space in the mid. Buys us some time for a moment so mid's not just getting vision pushed all game. And then I go back to farming. Now I see Graves looking for an opportunity to maybe fight Graves. And he smartly moves away, which is the right move. And I am just splitting for the time being. You can see again, look at where my team's standing and look at the control of the map that we have right now. This is a great freeze, by the way. Look at that ball. That shit doesn't even make sense. That's a hideous particle. But seriously though, look at this. Where should they be? They should be right here in the turrets. Right here in the turrets. Nowhere else. But of course they push out. And they get caught again. Let Tryndamere buy space in these late game spots, right? And that's what I'm doing. Trying to make space. Team's getting picked again. 20 minutes in, it's looking really grim. Down about, they have double our kills. And they're pushing into inhib. Notice this situation here. Now, people are often spam pinging you back in the spot. You can't really do anything right now. At the moment. And you should assume that Brand is able to wave clear a little bit. I love Lamp. What's up, New Style? You're going to assume that Brand is able to clear the waves and that Jan is going to be able to hold the turrets. You're going to assume that. Sometimes your assumption is going to be wrong and you are going to have them just run your team over and lose the game. But you need to trust in certain situations that your team can hold. Here, we have good wave clear with the Brand. We have Janna to help try to peel. The right move is to try to take this outer and make space on the map and get some global gold rocking. Also, Yasuo is not pushing with his team, which he should be. Since I'm splitting, he should just bear down on mid to put the game away. But he's splitting and it's making the game go a little longer than it should, in my opinion. Now, here's the key. Most of the time, when you play split push style, you're not going to get punished in a real way. This Morgana is actually making a really good play here by diving this Pantheon. It looks kind of willy-nilly, but he sees me top. This guy's actually pretty good. He sees me top, so he goes, I'm gonna ult this Pantheon and try to get this objective down. That's the right move to make. That's the right move to make. And you see me backing because I know that's what's coming. Unfortunately, Janna doesn't disengage, so that means that they get dove, but Tryndamere's coming back out of base. These are the spots late game that you have to be able to clutch it. You have to be able to clutch it, otherwise you lose. You're going to see, I'm going to dance around these guys. We're using the Janna for support. I'm going to try to get to the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is the target. I know Udyr is going to be super annoying as I'm moving forward. I'm planning this out in advance. Graves is, he's whatever. But this is the guy that I'm thinking about as I'm coming. I'm leaving base. I'm saying Kog'Maw is 10-2. I have to try to stop this guy, and I also have to try to keep the inhib up. So, you see me running forward. I have home guards. Jhin makes a nice ult to try to help. That's a good play by the bot laner. Okay? Now, I am going on Kog'Maw. Like I said, getting CC'd in. Getting CC'd in place. I'm going to test Kog'Maw and see if he has flash. I'm going to put him to the test. Then I'm going to double back. Now, here is a situation where you need to fake and dance and do things to tell the carry that you're going to try to kill them, but you need to mind game a little bit. As you can see, slow it down. Walking forward, spinning in, he flashes away, I back up. I back up right away. I don't get committed to it like a crazy person. I back up right away and spin back out after I get Kog'Maw's flash. These are things that I'm planning in advance. I'm testing to see if Kog'Maw has flash, and I'm using ultimate to get back away at the end of the fight. Okay? So I trade flash for flash and we win that. That's a big play coming out of the Tryndamere, coming out of our team, because all those that leveled advantage, a lot of XP is getting distributed to red team off of that play. But like I said, you gotta play that situation smart. You gotta come in knowing who you're gonna go for and who you've got to focus on, who you've got to gamble for. It's a gamble. Every spot after the disadvantage, coming out of base, all that bullshit, that is a gamble. That is a hard, I gotta try, otherwise we lose. We're gonna lose. If I don't go for this right now, we're gonna lose. Okay? So here, again, same concept. I'm looking for people to make mistakes. This Morgana's pretty good. So, I'm trying to get him to throw his spell shield and miss me. And as you can see, he doesn't throw it right away. He even auto attack fakes me a couple times to get me to think that a spell shield's coming, to get me to spin or something. It's very, very smart play. So I back, unable to kill the Morgana, and realizing that, again, one of the things I want to say is when you're running around the map looking for picks, you are assessing the skill of your opponents.
Thank
New
you
style,
for
thanks for
subscribing,
subbing.
Crap. Now welcome
You are
to the
assessing the
Nisi
skill of your
sub
opponents.
train.
So that Morgana, who's running around up here, I'm coming at her saying, you're going to throw the bind, you're going to make a mistake, you're going to do something stupid. I'm testing that guy. It's all tests. If he throws the bind and misses me, then tests failed. I'm going to stay on him. If he doesn't throw the bind and kind of holds it, he's pretty confident. I'm going to back down and reassess. I'm trying to take advantage of the weaker players in the room. That is solo queue. Take advantage of the weaklings. Just like poker, you're taking advantage of fish. League of Legends, you find the weakest player, you fucking abuse the shit out of that guy because that guy's going to lose the game for his team. In this particular game, no one is super weak on blue side. Everyone is pretty strong, maybe with the exception of Graves. Udyr's made some dumb plays, but at least Udyr's even pushing objectives, which is incredibly annoying to deal with regardless. But that's what you've got to try to find. All right? Thanks for the sub-hype training, guys. So I'm going to be backing. Now, we are 23 minutes in. This is a 40-minute game. Let's talk about this scenario here, what I'm thinking. Here, I get Morgana to ult me, to lead with her ult. She's trying her best to shut me down, realizing that I'm the only thing stopping them from winning this game. But unfortunately, ulting in Tryndamere never really works out too well, and that's just kind of a wasted cooldown. Janna, though, makes the situation worse and ults as a response, which is a waste. So now we have a situation where two of our big team fight ultimates are down, but I'm going to commit to this fight because Graves gets picked off by Pantheon and Brand. So I'm going to commit to this fight right away, looking to push my advantage. I also know that Yasuo is pushing bottom, so that's why we're engaging into this fight. Again, this push might not be too great of an idea just based off the fact that the lead is so heavy and turrets aren't being taken fast enough, in my opinion. So here, looking around, dancing with Udyr, just dancing, not too committed, but then I see Pantheon coming into stun, so I stay in it. And then I'm going to follow up. I'm going to go really aggressive because I'm pinging it, I'm spam pinging it. I want that action. Pantheon ults behind. And unfortunately, he wasn't playing very well this game, and he suicides. But I have to go bottom because Yasuo is pushing. You can't just give away free objectives, even if this team fight's looking pretty juicy and looking pretty free for you. So I hold top. Let's look at this play here. I go for Yasuo. Trade 1 for 1. Yasuo gets shut down. Jhin tries to make the pick. Unable to do it. And there you go. It's reset. Now, at this stage, if you're getting carried in this game, you want your fed carry to come back. So I'm hoping that my team doesn't do anything stupid while I'm on cooldown, while I'm on spawn. All right? So that's what they should be thinking. And I think I ping them back or tell them to back or whatever. And Brand and all these guys kite back properly and buy time for me to spawn, which is great. That's what you need. The game's caught back up now because we've gotten a couple shutdowns here or there. And we have a Janna, which is the ultimate game delayer if you don't just group up and take turrets down quickly. So here, taking red buff, looking around the map. I was using Warlords, Leon, yes. Again, trying to bear down on our top turret. Kog'Maw's out of position again, though. Now, I'm going to go in. I Ghost Blade in because I know that Kog'Maw's leaving base. These guys just wouldn't wait for Kog'Maw to show up. Morgana makes an ult onto me. But Yasuo splits off and goes for the back line. But he gets shut down pretty easily. I still have ult going on Kog'Maw and then switching to Morgana because I know I don't really have a chance in hell to kill Kog'Maw, especially when he has his flash and I don't. So unfortunately, unable to get the kill and get out. And here, just to prove that my team was not the greatest, you can see this Pantheon struggling, dude. Struggling. Riding the struggle. Look, free kill behind him. Doesn't know where to go, walking back and forth. He's just derping left and right. And then he ults, tilt ult, doesn't even land on the Kog'Maw, and then dies. Alright? So you see what I was dealing with this game. But again, engaging the fight because I know someone's out of position, going right in, not hesitating, ghost blading in even. Even though my entire team is behind, I'm not. And I'm playing like, even though these guys are ahead, then I'm going to challenge anyways. Which is, you know, that's when you know you're carrying a game. Is when your entire team's losing, you're still able to challenge people who are playing very confidently into you. So here, trying to stop me from stealing the Baron, this Morgana clutches this situation. Binds me at a great time and denies the steal. Now, knowing that the Baron just happened, Graves goes over the wall, and I try as hard as I can now to get as many kills as I possibly can. I'm trying to deny as many kills as I possibly can. I don't want a Baron push. I want people to lose their Baron buff. Because the more Baron buffs you get down in these situations, the better, and this is very important, the more Baron buffs that you get down in these situations, the weaker that those Baron pushes are going to be. If anybody decides to split off, speed backs are going to be gone. You're going to buy yourself about a minute or so that no one can really group up and push. You're going to buy your team time to push lanes out, to get space. So here is a very nuanced situation where I see that Kog'Maw is alone, and I know he doesn't have flash, and I basically trade. Or I try to trade and survive, obviously, but I'm going with the intent that I'm probably going to die, and I know that, and I don't give a fuck. Because I really want the Kog'Maw dead, and I go in on him. And I make a mistake, arguably a mistake, because I use my spin right away when it's possible that if I save my spin, I might have been able to dodge the Kog'Maw passive. But as you can see, suiciding basically to trade 1-for-1 and cancel out the Baron buff. Very important. And I know I'm probably boring you guys to tears with this video, but you have to pay attention to this type of stuff. Because late game scenarios, if you don't understand that trying to get that Baron down when you're behind is important, then you're not going to win these late games. Like, you're just not. That changes the face of the game. That has people chasing me behind turrets. That buys time for the Baron push to not happen. Lets my team have an opportunity to pick people off. Like, you have to make space and buy time versus the Baron. Baron is too strong. It's too strong to be fucking around with. So you can see 30-second death timers delays the Baron push by a while. By a long while. Now I'm off a spawn. Going in right away. I'm not hesitating. I know that people are split off and leaving base again. Same time as I am. So I'm putting them to the test. And Morgana's too spaced out and gets caught. And because of that, there's the pick off on Graves. And now we're rolling. Now, this is an interesting situation. You can push, yes. But what's more important versus these guys in late game situations, you want to fucking back after you start getting momentum. You need to inch your way, like I said, Mount Everest. All right, you need to inch your way forward. So we get some picks, we take an objective, we see Yasuo splitting, so we back and reset. You take an objective after when you're in a late game situation and you're struggling to catch up. You make a pick, you reset. You make a pick, you reset. You make a pick, you reset. Because once you have a team that's all falling behind, you're the only guy that can really get it done. So you see 3-9, 0-6, 5-5 now, 6-5. So Brand's caught up a little bit, and I'm doing my thing, okay? But this game is pretty ugly. That's a giant Kog'Maw getting protected by a giant Morgana and being protected by a giant Udyr. It's very, very annoying, okay? So, take the lead and back, right? So we got the objective, now we're backing. And the only reason we went for that tier 2 there, because we had a small little window where Pantheon had backed, and I wasn't really thinking that Pantheon would lose to Yasuo, that Yasuo could just flat dive a Pantheon. Most Yasuos aren't capable of that move. So, I didn't think it was going to happen, and we take the tier 2, and then back right away. Back. Reset. Just reset, breathe, farm, give your team a chance to get some levels, because they're just like bots, dude. They're like AI. You need to get them leveled up. You need to get them those levels. Okay, so here, There's an opportunity for them to catch me. I don't take the bait. I see that they just took dragon. I see that they just walked over vision, and I back smartly. Using your home guards, using your turrets is how you come back. Letting idiots throw is how you come back. So here, gonna be coming forward. Look at the situation. Let's think about this for a moment. My team is slightly behind now. The Kog'Maw, protect the Kog'Maw comp is working. Alright? So how is this fight going to work? Well, the big key is to get Kog'Maw down. You see Brand gets caught. Brand gets caught. That's not good. He gets picked off. So here, I'm ulting with the intent to go on Kog'Maw and try to get it in. But I unfortunately am unable to kill the Kog'Maw, and everyone lives. Key. Everyone lives. If I die here, if I die right here, I fuck the whole game up. This is a very important survival. Late game is a lot about just fucking surviving fights. And I went a little too deep and got lucky and lived. If I died here, that would have been really fucking bad. And I live. So I get home guards and I get to threaten aggression. Even though I don't really have an aggressive option without my ultimate, I get to threaten it. And they don't feel like they can push objectives too heavy because I'm still up and coming out of base with home guards. But if I had died, that would have been really bad, and they would have pushed. I guarantee you they would have pushed. I would have. Would have pushed real hard there. Or swung bottom. I mean, anything would have been a good option. So here, again, look at what Janna's doing. Let's stop for a second. This is the second time this guy has done this in his game. I need to ward. What are you ward? What do you need to ward right now? Okay? What do you need to ward right now? There's nothing up. There's no Baron. There's no nothing. Nothing. No dragon. Nothing. The only thing we need to do is breathe and farm for a moment. Then move out and ward. Wait till Brand is up. But again, suiciding it. Second time that this guy's done that this game, that's a leak. That's something that he does when he plays support that loses him games. Straight up. I need to ward. Not thinking about why do you need to ward there? There's nothing to see. What do you need to see? We can't pick anybody outside of turrets right now. So thankfully, Jhin doesn't get hit. And they try to dive, but at the same time, I ping Pantheon in. Yasuo's bottom for some reason. I ping Pantheon to go in. Like, hey, we can't give them... This is important. You can't just give this turret away. You have to defend it. You have to go in. You have to man up. Look at how I go in on these carries. First carry, I know that Pantheon's going to CC, so I knock down Graves out of the fight right away. It's a quick isolation. Okay? It's a long death timer. And now I'm thinking Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw goes down. I'm going to deal as much damage as I can to Udyr. If I can get him, sweet. If I can't, oh well. And there's the pick. Alright? There's the pick. Notice how far we're pushed back to base. Not much we can do right now. This is, again, where we're going to talk about taking what we can get and then backing away. Alright? So, we have siege minions pushing. We're going to push them all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And I specifically, in this spot, tell my team, we need to back and reset all of us. There's nothing we can do right now. Yasuo even takes the turret because of that. But because everyone gets out, well, Pantheon might get caught. Most everyone gets out. Oh, never mind. But you see, it's very important that you get out. That you reset. That Morgana wants to pick somebody. It's a long lane. It's a long time to run away. So you got to take your little pick and get the fuck out. Here, Yasuo gets caught. Good exhaust by Janna. And we make that pick while this chasing's going on. And as you can see, Jhin gets a nice kill onto Morgana. And now the throws start happening. The throws start happening. Good God, man. Now, notice. Early QSS, bad QSS, stupid QSS. My logic of that... oh, yeah, I was trying to speed up. Yeah, it makes sense. I was trying to speed up. And get in there closer to Kog'Maw as soon as possible. So it sort of makes sense. But yeah, I don't fuck around. I get in there, I ult right away, make sure I secure it, and there you go. Big score for our team. Baron's coming up, spam pinging it. Here, I don't care about the inhib. Brand and Janna can hold that shit. And now, here we are, 12-5, in a absolutely crazy game. And a lot of this game really does come down to, when it came time to engage, I just engaged hard and hoped that I could get the Kog'Maw down. And hoped that I could keep, you know, every time that I got a small advantage, I pinged my team back and reset. And now you can see the end game product. I'm looking at my team on the mini-map the whole time. We're pushing in. I tell my team, hey, push hard. We have speed backs. Notice the back got canceled. My team was going to back. I said, no, push hard. You have speed back, which means I don't care about the inhib. I want to open the base. I want to take control of the map. I want to take control of the game. We have Baron. We can always back quickly if we need to. Okay? I tell Pantheon, notice he cancels his back. See that? We commit to this push. 5-man committal with the Baron means that Yasuo can't push. Baron buff means that you can't split push. You can't split push versus Baron. Not reliably anyway. Sometimes you can sneak an objective. But if you splitting versus Baron and the team's on your base, you gotta back, dude. You can't lead. You can't push. And you see Yasuo has to back in the top lane. So here, I commit to the turret, and I commit to pushing the other team off of their base. I'm getting in there, dodging binds, dancing, QSSing all sorts of shit, and just trying to threaten damage and being really front-liney for my team as much as possible. Spinning back at the last second and healing, planning on dodging the Graves ult, and he whiffs it. So, I go back to farming and healing, life-stealing as the fight's going on. I'm assessing while this fight's happening where I can be and where I can't be. I see Kog'Maw coming out. I get the inhib. I spam ping my team. You're going to hear me spam ping like 9 times. Spam ping. Back. Back, please. Jhin stays in it, and he is lucky as shit because Morgana misses the bind, and then Jhin picks up the kill on Udyr. Cocky motherfucker. Look at this. It was so sad. Udyr dies. And now we've reset. I say reset. No, dragon's up. Never mind. Let's take dragon, then reset. Notice, don't get greedy. I don't get greedy. I've got control of the game again. And here, this is just decisive. This is heads up decisiveness shit right here. I commit to this because I know that Morgana can't have shit after that team fight, okay? This is a very decisive play. This is something that comes with experience. And because I make this play, I open up another push for the team right after. We back, and I think we push bottom or something right after it. So I see Morgana. I spin over and flash for the secure onto Morgana or Kog'Maw. And as you can see, Ghost Blading forward, getting that double kill. As soon as that happens, going right into pushing lanes, finding shit to push. I have time to push and do things, so I do it. I go around the map, I'm assessing the death timers. And then I back. I tell my team, we need to push bottom. What do I mean by Morgana can't have shit? I mean that after that team fight down here, she comes to contest Dragon. Okay? She comes to contest Dragon, and that tells me that the odds of her having anything, after we just had this huge fight on the inhib, the odds of her having anything means that I need to go in right here and put the heat on. I need to pressure this. I need to go for it, because that's a squishy support with like 20% HP trying to vision ward. Okay? So I need to get in there and challenge that. That support is also the only thing that really stops me from getting the Kog'Maw, and because I burn the flash... I burned the flash for Morgana, Kog'Maw is left exposed. So, and that is a very deceptive play. I've been playing very passively for the most part. And this is where it comes back to what I was saying. It's like you have to pick your spots smartly. I flash in, the guy whiffs his binding because it's such a wild play that he hasn't seen me make yet. And then, you know, you go in and you get the double kill. So it's a good question, actually. I like that question. So now, notice, I want to push. I need my team. I'm saying to my team, why the fuck aren't we pushing with Baron advantage? Now, Late game scenarios, and I'm telling you, we've covered a lot of them today. This spot, okay, look at the situation. Mid inhib is pushing. This Z-Rot portal is annoying as fuck. I don't know where it is. Here it is. Z-Rot portal is annoying, but it can't stop Baron alone. Eventually, Baron will prevail. Okay, so what's your goal as Tryndamere here? You don't want to split off because you're the most fed guy, and your team fight is pretty good. And you have, you don't have teleport or anything. What you want to do is you just want to threaten, like, hey, I'm unpredictable. Anytime you get too close, I'm going to go in on you. So as you can see, just kind of floating with my team, just hanging out, giving this brand an opportunity. And this is why I said this brand was pretty good when it came down to it. Giving him an opportunity to land some poke with blue buff. Telling my team, just wait it out. This is a win for you guys. We come back. We can win from here. Just let Brand poke. And eventually, mid pushes. Kog'Maw has to respond. Eventually, he has to respond. Minions come in. And then we open up the aggression a little bit. I open it up. Pantheon makes a nice stun. And I dive. I dive hard. I dive really hard. And I put a lot of heat on the Kog'Maw. And thankfully, Janna clutches it. And that's that. And I want to show you that dive again. You need to commit in spots like this. You have to put the heat on here. When your team commits, you have to commit. You are the carry. You have to make the man play. Alright? You have to make the man play. So here, Pantheon stuns in. I go in to try to help secure any kills that I can. Yasuo catches me. Oh, he doesn't catch me with the tornado. And I go in onto the Graves, walking right at him in a straight line, planning to ult. And then, I'm looking for the next option that I can take while the ult's ticking down, doing as much damage as I can. It's a long ulti that I'm running. As you can see, very, very long. As soon as Kog'Maw kites, switch focus, deal as much damage as possible for your team, and backline that shit. Get in the back line and give your team something to work with. Now, because of that trade, the game gets put away. And this whole game was all about calmly picking your spots. Every time you take an objective, pull back, reset, refresh. And for the blue team, what they needed to do is they needed to group up as 5 and take a very, very easy win and just walk down mid. Because we didn't have the clear or the capability to stop their comp once they got rolling with the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw could shred turrets. He literally only needed Yasuo's wind wall, and the turrets were gone. And Yasuo split, and that's an example of why sometimes splitting isn't always the best move, especially when your team is dominating the game. If you're not going to create much off of splitting, you need to group. Alright guys, this is Martin ECNeese, BingeGaming.tv, doing a LoL replay review. I know this was a long one. I hope you sat through it and learned something. There's a lot of interesting late game scenarios to talk about. Things like, like I was saying, resetting and all that shit. And just trying to keep your head above water, keep your summoners, and when you need to defend shit, you go in. You go in, you blow, you isolate who the Fed carry is, and you try to take them out of the picture in those fights. Alright, I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out. Peace, crackers.